Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today we have the September pay-per-view from our WWF 2001 DVD pay-per-view reviews, Unforgiven. And yeah, this is the second time I visited this one on my channel. I did it probably about 2 years ago or so now, so near enough at the beginning of this channel's life. And obviously the camera I was using and the room I was in at the time I was using and filming in was quite brightly lit, just all pink. Everything was pink, and there was a lot of color clash with this cover. It was just absolutely crazy. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. Let's talk about this. So yeah, Unforgiven 2001. The greatest of battles are fought from within. So we have Stone Cold Steve Austin there on the front cover with that scary looking free head, well, free face kind of thing. And they used that like hologram as part of the show as well. I always remember that. When I think of Unforgiven, I think of the free faced Steve Austin hologram. It's just freaky as hell. So a Silver Vision release 15 certificate here in the UK. Here's the spine. Sorry about the glare, guys. Sun's shining outside today, so it's another bright one. Advert for Just Bring It again, and then the usual in the background DVDs that I've showed you on the previous DVD releases from this year. There's the disc. Here's the back. So we have Stone Cold and Kurt Angle there in that screenshot at the top. Booker T giving The Rock a bookend, giving the book a bookend, I was going to say. Chris Jericho and RVD in their match. And we have the Hurricane, and I think that's Big Show who he's jumping onto there. So this had a 158-minute run time. And I'm just going to go over the stats before I go over the matches with you guys. So this was from the Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Lots of puzz. Yes, sorry about that. So September 23rd, 2001. Attendance 13,855 for that evening, and a buy rate of 350,000. So yeah, this kind of got overshadowed, in my opinion, and where I've read and heard about before, when that tragic 9/11 incident, just not very long, like weeks prior to this. So a lot of people were still, grieving and in shock, not just across America, but across the world, I guess. So it was an awkward time. We had, so let's get on with the matches, because I don't want to really go into like stuff like that too much, because it's quite sad. Anyway, we opened up with a 4-way elimination match for the WWF Tag Team Championship. So the Dudley boys put their tag titles on the line, representing the Alliance as well, that is, guys, against Big Show and Spike Dudley. So Spike Dudley going through partners this year, like, I don't know. I'm not even going to make a joke, but it's just ridiculous. Spike, why can't you just stick with one tag team partner? The Hurricane and Lance Storm representing the Alliance. Sorry, Spike and Big Show were representing WWF, I should have said. And then we had the Hardy Boys representing the WWF. So this was a fun match. I did think to myself, because I couldn't remember it too much since watching it last time, was it going to be fun? Is it going to be one of those match fillers for the pay-per-view, or is it going to be like one that could have been left on TV? But when they said elimination match, 4-way elimination, and then that caught my attention, because I knew we were going to get down to an eventual winner, like get down to the final 2 teams and an eventual winner, rather than piss about with just having 4 teams, trying to each of them attempt a pinfall, and just I find it a mess when it's like that sometimes. That's just my opinion though, guys. But anyway, yeah. So we got down to the Dudleys and the Hardys at the end, and yeah, that was quite fun for a while. And yeah, the Dudleys managed to retain, so that was pretty cool. Next up, we had Perry Saturn representing the WWF against Raven, who's representing the Alliance. He had Terry Runnels with him. And this was a story, I'm pretty sure the storyline was over Perry Saturn's girlfriend, Moppy, getting murdered by Raven through a wood chipper. And we see it in all of its gory detail. And the wood chipper jams halfway through. And you can hear poor Moppy suffering. Help! Help! I'm joking, guys. It's Raven's voice. I'm trying to keep kayfabe here, for fuck's sake. But yeah, Perry Saturn and Raven. The match itself, oh my days, it was absolutely shite. It really was. I don't know what's wrong. Both of them are usually good wrestlers, but something didn't gel here between the both of them. The crowd seemed pretty off as well. I thought they were, maybe it's because of everything that happened that I talked about at the beginning of the video. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into that shit. It could be that, but the crowd did seem a bit off in this match and a few of the other matches as well. But yeah, Perry Saturn managed to pick up the victory, but it wasn't very good anyway, the match, sadly, guys. Next up, we had Edge representing WWF, defending his Intercontinental Championship against his brother, Christian, representing the Alliance. And yes, the build-up for this had been coming for a few months now. And sorry, guys, that's bugging me a little bit, the glare. It's distracting me, sorry, guys. Anyway, sorry, as I was saying, yeah, Edge against his brother Christian. The build-up had been coming for a few months now, and well, I'd really started to look forward to it, and it was a bit obvious that Christian was going to turn, and he was getting very close to, or jealous, should I say, of Edge's success, his brother's success as Intercontinental Champion and as King of the Ring tournament winner. And the match itself, absolutely good, very good match. A few, say, blown spots, I guess. Edge suffers a nasty gash under his eye, and at the end of the match, where Christian goes to do a concerto on Edge, Edge kind of gets out of the way and does like a leg sweep on Christian. Christian falls back, and the chair he has in his hands lands on his face and busts his mouth open, which is pretty nasty. So both of them suffered a little bit of a nasty injury in this match, and Christian managed to become Intercontinental Champion. It was a surprise back then because Christian's only other success with a singles championship was the light heavyweight championship when he first showed up with the Brood, I'm pretty sure, and to have him win the Intercontinental Championship here during this invasion angle as well was quite shocking for me, especially how heavily Edge was being pushed at the time, around this invasion kind of angle, summertime. But yeah, Christian picking up the win there, becoming Intercontinental Champion. So yeah, well done. Next up, WCW Tag Team Championships were on the line. So we had the champions, the Brothers of Destruction, the Undertaker and Kane, representing the WWF as they took on Chronic, representing the Alliance, and they were with Steven Richards, who dyed his hair black and dressed all in black and kind of looked like he belonged in the movie Grease. He looked like that Danny from Grease. I don't know, it's just my opinion, guys. You'll see when if you ever check that match out what I'm talking about. That's who he just reminded me of. Very strange. But yeah, back to the match anyway. I wanted to say this one was going to be good because I was a big fan of Chronic, seeing them in WCW and everything else, and Undertaker putting a good word in for Chronic to, be given a try in WWE because he was friends with Bryan Adams, and it just didn't work out in the end, and we had a very poor match as well. I don't know what went wrong. I think it may be if Chronic were given more time to have had, I don't know, just matches to build up towards this, given more time instead of just a mere few weeks. Do you know what I mean? Just show up and then get thrown into the match. Maybe it could have been different. They seemed to, maybe they were suffering from a bit of ring rust. I don't know. I didn't think they were a bad tag team, to be honest, in WCW. So I don't. Maybe they couldn't get on with WWF style of wrestling because they like to do a different style, didn't they? That's just my opinion, though. And I'm not trying to look for excuses for Chronic or anything. I do like the Brothers of Destruction as well, as you know, guys. So it was a shame that this was an absolute piss poor match, in my opinion. And we had the Brothers of Destruction retaining the WCW Tag Team Championships in the end. I don't recommend this match at all, guys. It was bad. It was as bad as the Saturn versus Raven match, to be honest. And it breaks my heart to say that. And that was the last we see of Chronic as well, sadly. Next up, so we go from a really bad match to a really, really cool match. So we had Rob Van Dam defending his Hardcore Championship against Chris Jericho. So Rob Van Dam representing the Alliance, Jericho representing the WWF. Don't get me wrong, I like Jericho, as you guys know, and to see him in a hardcore match, it just doesn't usually suit him, in my opinion. I know he's done some extreme matches, I guess I call them, in AEW in recent years, like Blood and Guts, I think he was in one of those. You know what I mean, in those kind of barbaric matches. But I'm not used to seeing him much in hardcore matches back then, or maybe I've just forgotten about them. It doesn't seem to suit his style, but he managed to pull it off, and they had a fantastic match here. And RVD was able to successfully retain the Hardcore Championship, which was pretty cool. But Jericho put up a good challenge. Very good match, guys, that one. One of the best matches of the evening, in my opinion. We had a WCW championship match. It was a handicap match next. So we had The Rock, who was the champion representing the WWF. So a WWF representative with a WCW championship going up against Booker T and Shane McMahon in a handicap match representing the Alliance. So this goes on from what I was saying about SummerSlam. This is just my opinion again, guys. It felt like an insult to the WCW Championship to have Booker T need help to beat The Rock. You know what I mean? It's just bad. It made WCW look bad. It made Booker T look terrible. And it took him, in my opinion, years to recover from that, until around, say, 2006, when he became King of the Ring for WWE and then champion and everything. He started to get that momentum back again. But this was a proper, kick in the face, in my opinion. And yeah, The Rock managed to retain the championship as well. And we had interference from Test trying to help Booker T and Shane McMahon. It just added insult to injury even further, in my opinion. Yeah, the APA also got involved to try and get rid of Test. And then the referees arguing with each other because one was a Alliance referee, one was a WWF referee, and then they had their little brawl. Then we had, I think it was Earl Hebner, who called the victory and declared The Rock the winner and still WCW champion. The match itself, though, was entertaining. I'm not dissing the match at all. I'm just, it's what surrounds it that really pisses me off. You know what I mean? Because it's like WCW didn't mean nothing to them, and they just wanted to piss all over their legacy, and they didn't give a shit about Booker T, and they wanted to have Booker T their own way, and that's why they made him work up. They made all the WCW wrestlers, when they brought them in, work up. And that's one of the reasons why Sting never joined WWF. He said that himself in an interview, that he as soon as he saw the way they treated Booker T, he's like, nah, I'm not joining. Nah, forget that. Look how they're treating all the WCW guys. Nah. Yeah, and like I said, they were the heel faction, and obviously they got to be treated differently, a little bit. You know what I mean? But you got to draw the line somewhere. You just can't have them have WWF dominate WCW. You got to be realistic about it. And the booking was just a joke. Moving on. We had Rhino representing the Alliance challenge Tajiri, who representing the WWF, for the WCW United States Championship. Now, Tajiri, very shocking because earlier in the year he had, I think he was light heavyweight champion, wasn't he, guys? And a big step up for him, from him, sorry, for him to go from light heavyweight championship division all the way to the United States Championship division. I treat the WCW United States Championship as an equal to the Intercontinental Championship, if not better. That's my opinion on that championship as well. And that's good and shocking back then even that Tajiri managed to win that. And yeah, he defended against Rhino, who I said was being heavily pushed. Well, not heavily pushed. He's being pushed a lot. And I reckon that's under the influence of Paul Heyman probably, whispering in Vince's ear a little bit, check out the man beast, push him. The days before the tribal chief and all that. But yeah, it was a good match. I didn't mind it. And Rhino managed to pick up the victory. It was like a cruiserweight against a heavyweight, super heavyweight, like a powerhouse. So it was a bit of a strange encounter, but Tajiri did do well. But it was Rhino who became WCW United States Champion. And he deserved it. He did put in the work for it, and, he got rewarded well. And I was happy with that. Our main event next, so we had Stone Cold Steve Austin representing the Alliance, putting his WWF Championship on the line against Kurt Angle representing the WWF. What? I said, Kurt Angle representing the WWF. What? Yep, it was that time again, guys, when Stone Cold, what? That what catchphrase kicked in, and the crowd loved it. And, it's very similar to the other one-word catchphrases like Ron Simmons with his damn. And what's the other one? Oh, LA Night. Yeah. So all those one-word catchphrases seemed to work. And what? That one did. Yes, so Austin against Angle. I didn't like Angle as a face. I've said this before in previous videos. I just couldn't take to him being a face. I didn't accept him as a face. I was, backing and rooting for Austin throughout that match. And I look back at it today and I still feel the same about it. My opinions towards Kurt Angle, I didn't like him then. I reckon I started to like him around 2004 onwards. When he, lost his hair, became bald, and he just got into more technical matches, more interesting matches. I'm not saying his matches before that weren't any good, but I just didn't like him. There's something about him I didn't like. And at this time period, I didn't like him. I wanted Austin to win, and it just felt insulting when he would kidnap Austin before this, the build up to this, and tie him up, blindfold him, threaten to throw him off a bridge and that. And this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a badass. You shouldn't be doing that to him. Not you, not Kurt Angle. Fuck off. You're having a laugh. Yeah, true. He was representing the United States or whatever, and he's representing the WWF as their face. And the match itself, it was a bit slow in places, but it's worth watching, I guess, but not very often. So it's not a terrible match, but it wasn't a 5-star or anything like that. Kurt Angle picked up the victory by submission in the end. So it was very rare we'd see someone make Austin tap out as well. So yeah, quite a shocker for back then and for I guess fans who've never watched this before, who watch it for the first time, might think, "Oh wow, wouldn't expecting that." But then thinking about it now, and I've got to bring it up again. I'm sorry, unfortunately. Maybe 9/11 incident was the influence behind putting the belt on Angle, and for him to pick up the victory here. Just to change the mood for everything. But that's just my opinion and everything, guys. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't know. That's my thoughts about it. I only thought that because he drops it a few weeks later back to Austin. So it's like pointless him having it. But overall, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, Unforgiven. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's fair. Tell me what you think about this one in the comments below, guys. Next up, we've got No Mercy to review in this series. I haven't watched that one for a very long time. I can't even remember it, to be honest. So that one's going to be quite an interesting one when I do get to that one. I can remember parts of Survivor Series though, so maybe it'll all start to link together to me once I get around to watching No Mercy. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if I deserve one today. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hi to new subscribers. Thank you for joining me today. You stay safe, guys. I'll catch you again soon for another video. Goodbye for now.